We're back with new allegations of sexual harassment and assault against Sean Diddy Combs. Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a producer on Combs' latest album, filed a lawsuit Monday. He alleges that Combs sexually harassed and assaulted him.
Hey, this is Dre Say. At Dre Say, we talk about it, people. Hey, man, I tell myself that I wasn't going to get into all this P. Diddy propaganda, man, all this, celeb news and stuff. But, man, this one here, I couldn't miss out on this. Man, we have a real whistleblower. This guy, Lil Rod, a producer from one of P. Diddy's last, I think it's the last album or whatever that he just done. Man, this guy has some real serious allegations going against P. Diddy here, man. He's naming some real big names, celebs, and industry execs, man. So, hey, I just had to get into this, man, and talk about it, man. Hey, at Dre Say we talk about it. So we're talking about P. Diddy and everything that's going on, man. This is a shame what's going on, man. I hope, man, this stuff is not real, man. I'll be honest with you. But hey, here we go, people. Let's talk about it. Let's get back into this clip. I have another really good clip that we're going to get into as well with Miss Candace Owens, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's go. Here we go.
Filed a lawsuit Monday. He alleges that Combs sexually harassed and assaulted him while he lived at several of Combs' homes.
Hey. Gather round, everyone. If you've been keeping an eye on P. Diddy's crazy life lately, get ready for even more drama. Messy breakups with Cassie. And let's not forget those lawsuits. Like when his chef Cindy accused him of assault a few years back. Lil Rod came out recently as well, saying that Diddy made him do some bad things during their work on Diddy's latest album. But hold on to your hats, because it gets crazier. There were more assault claims and even some revenge videos leaked. Then, in December 2023, another bomb dropped. A woman accused him of mistreating her when she was just 17. We're diving deep into the latest chapter of the P. Diddy saga. It's going to be one heck of a ride. One of the very first people that was on Diddy's checklist was none other than DaBaby. Yes, you heard that right. Even though he's a youngin' who's been very short on the music scene once compared to Diddy, he nonetheless sparked some interest in Diddy's eyes. And apparently it's not all about business between these two.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was at the beginning of 2020. Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put him out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there.
All right, picture this. It's 2020, and DaBaby's kicking it at one of Puff's legendary mansion parties. Beyonce and Jay-Z are in the mix. You know, just your typical star-studded bash. It's like stepping into a scene straight out of a Hollywood flick, with celebs everywhere and the energy crackling. But as the night rolls on, things start to get a bit weird. The crowd thins out, and that's when stuff gets real interesting. DaBaby spills the beans on how Puff got a bit too touchy-feely.
Hey, man, I can tell you, I can just imagine, man, being there, being somebody new to the industry, man, and you're around Jay-Z, Beyonce, all these big name, celebs, man. That would be, very interesting, man. I believe that would, be very intriguing. And then, to have them, allow you to stay there a little longer. Hey, who wouldn't? You know what I mean? So hey, I definitely don't blame DaBaby for staying there for a little bit longer. I would definitely stay and see what's really going on now. Hey, because this is the after party was fit to go on. But now when they get a little too uncomfortable, I see where he had to, he felt uncomfortable. I'm quite sure he had to get up out of there. You know what I mean? Hey, man, hey, I don't blame him for sticking around. I sure would have did the same thing. You know what I mean? To see what's really going on. Let's get back into this clip, people.
Even going as far as throwing an arm around him. You can practically hear the tension in DaBaby's voice as he dishes all the juicy details. Imagine you're chilling at this A-list party, rubbing elbows with Beyonce and Jay-Z, when things suddenly take a strange turn. Now, if I were an up-and-coming artist in that situation, I'd be freaking out. And turns out DaBaby was feeling the same vibes. especially with all the rumors swirling about Diddy's behavior towards young artists he takes a liking to. I mean, we've all heard about what went down between Diddy and Cassidy, right? So, DaBaby's feeling more than a little uneasy. He paints a picture of the party vibe going from fun and games to straight up awkwardness. With only a handful of folks left in the room, DaBaby spills the tea on how the place was packed at first, but then Diddy apparently cleared everyone out, leaving just a select few, including Jay-Z and Beyonce. Now, what went down behind those closed doors at Diddy's mansion is still a mystery. But judging by the shaky tone of DaBaby's voice, it wasn't anything good. Fans couldn't help but feel for him at that moment. Now, DaBaby might be just one of the recent guys to be on Diddy's radar. Believe it or not, this has been going on for quite some time. Remember Diddy's connection with Usher or Justin Bieber for that matter?
Oh.
Yep, that's
man. As a matter of fact, people, I actually have a clip, man, with him. You know, like kind of seemed like he kind of, you know, stepping to Justin Bieber a little bit because he hadn't been returning his calls. He hadn't been calling them and stuff. So you could tell Justin Bieber, man. We're gonna play the clip. Y'all see exactly what I'm talking about, man. That was real. I felt a little uncomfortable, man. You know. Hey, let's get back into this one here, man.
It's Puffy Flavor Camp for you.
So yo, when we gonna get the chance to, you know, to kick it, like we can just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it. This is Puff. Okay. You're telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he's like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just said? I got the fuck away from him because I was like, this nigga, like, this nigga just tell me he taking me shopping. And this is shit that goes on. So there's your little fruit pile. It's a fruit pile, trust me. I see these little weird ass pictures and shit like that out there. I'm just sitting out there for no reason.
So let's talk about this whole Diddy getting.
Now, I say like this here, man. I don't know. You know, I don't know anything about the music industry and all that. All I know is from what I see on, you know, like social media and all the stuff that gets leaked through social media and everything. But man, I don't, you know, me personally, like with 50 say, man, I'm not gonna let no guy take me on clothes, you know, a shopping spree, you know, unless I don't know, man. Unless I'm like maybe a new up and coming artist, and he just signed me on, and he just want to show me a little love. So I don't know, you know, I don't know how it works, but man, you know, but 50, you know, he already got money like that. He can go buy his own clothes. You know what I mean? Hey, let's talk about it, people.
Cozy with DaBaby situation, huh? Well, if you've been keeping an eye on the music scene, you probably ain't too shocked. Diddy's got a bit of a rep for getting a little too buddy-buddy with up-and-comers. He's been playing the mentor game for a minute now, with stars like Justin Bieber and Usher on his roster. But what really goes down when the doors close? That's the big question mark. Fans have been buzzing like mad. And let me tell you, they're painting a pretty murky picture. Remember what Usher hinted at about Puffy's Flavor Camp? Yeah, that had folks talking. So imagine this. Usher, the young R&B sensation, lands the opportunity of a lifetime to live with none other than Puff Daddy himself. Yeah, you heard that right. At just 14, Usher's rubbing elbows with hip-hop heavyweights like Biggie, Lil' Kim, and Mary J. Blige, all regulars at Puffy's pad.
And then you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor
some
Camp.
Yeah, that's all. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
During a chat with Howard Stern, Usher didn't hold back. He straight up spilled the beans about what went down. And let me tell you, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Usher saw some stuff, man. He got a first-hand look at the lifestyle, the good, the bad, and the downright shocking. But here's the kicker. Diddy wasn't exactly playing the strict mentor role. Nah, he was more like the cool uncle, letting Usher figure things out on his own. Sure, there was a tutor thrown into the mix, but it was like a crash course in the school of hard knocks. And when it came to Usher's debut album, Diddy stepped up as producer. But when it didn't quite hit the mark commercially, suddenly Diddy was MIA for Usher's follow-up album, My Way, which went platinum 6 times over. But hold on, because there's more. Gene Deal, a former associate of Diddy's, recently dropped a bombshell, claiming Diddy's intentions with Danity Kane weren't exactly kosher. According to Deal, Diddy had some sketchy plans for the group, including getting them mixed up in some shady stuff. These revelations give us a glimpse into the dark side of the music biz, showing that fame and fortune ain't all glitz and glam. It's a stark reminder that things ain't always what they seem in the world of entertainment, and sometimes the truth ain't pretty. When DaBaby spilled the beans about feeling uneasy at that party, it was like deja vu. I mean, Diddy has a track record, and it ain't exactly squeaky clean. Everyone's wondering what's up with Puff's personal space. Is he just trying to bond, or is there something sketchy going on? And DaBaby's not the only one with it.
People, just like I said before, we have another video here, another clip with Miss Candace Owens, man. Miss Candace Owens literally said that she's not gonna cover this stuff anymore, man. It's getting that deep. So hey, let's get right back into this. Let's get into this clip here. Let's see what Miss Candace Owens has to say about this P. Diddy rabbit hole, man. Let's get into it, people. Here we.
I wasn't kidding at the top, guys. I am probably not going to cover this anymore because it is definitely getting a bit terrifying. Obviously, we covered this. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch. I believe it was Monday's episode. But yes, the Diddy lawsuit is absolutely crazy. Full stop. What if I told you guys that it is about to get even crazier, that there is directly a link to Michael Jackson's death? I want to be clear that when everything was going on with Michael Jackson, the lawsuits, his death, I thought that we were in full conspiracy theory.
What? Michael Jackson's death? Hold on, wait a minute. Now, Michael Jackson died a long time ago. So, wait a minute, man. So you mean to tell me that they're linking P. Diddy to Michael Jackson's death? Oh man. Wow. Hey, let's get into this. Let's get back into this video, man. This is it right here. Wow.
Territory when people were saying that Michael Jackson was killed. I actually know a lot of people that are in the industry who believe that Michael Jackson was killed. And I just thought it just sounds too whacked out to believe that somebody intentionally killed Michael Jackson. Of course, why would they do that? And also, I was believing the media. The media was extensively saying every single day that he was a pedophile, even though he factually won his case. I allowed my image of Michael Jackson certainly to be corroded by the media throughout that time period. I will fully confess.
I'll be honest with you. I don't really agree with a whole lot of Candace Owens stuff, but that's one thing I do agree with her, with Michael Jackson. But see, I'll be honest with you, that was back in, early 2000s when, social media wasn't as big as it is now, and it wasn't so much conspiracy theory going around. It was a little bit here and there, but not as much as now. So that's probably why we all just took Michael Jackson died as, Michael Jackson died, But kind of in the back of my mind, I always felt something wasn't right about it, Let's get back into this.
Now, I want to remind you, before we get back into Michael Jackson, what we learned in the Diddy documents, just to very quickly recap. Well, if you read through them, again, these are all allegations, but you will come out of it understanding that there is allegedly some sort of a blackmail ring that is operating throughout Hollywood, and that artists that are producing music are actually being controlled via being induced into drugs at parties. And then what takes place is they're being recorded, and sometimes they're being recorded while they are committing sexual acts with minors. And something that we also saw in these docs is that these parties, at least a lot of them, are taking place in the Virgin Islands, which again, just makes you go, what's happening here? Because Jeffrey Epstein, obviously his home, or he owned an island that was just—
That's literally the first thing I thought about.
Just off the coast of St. Thomas. So we hear that again. I also am jogging your memory about the Bitcoin millionaire who right before his death found drowned, accidental drowning, even though he was fully clothed and had his wallet in his pocket, tweeted. that the CIA and the Mossad were running a blackmail ring in the Virgin Islands. Something else that we learned in the Diddy lawsuit was that the media and the authorities are complicit. So the ring has real power, not imagined power. Again, I am using the word alleged because this person, despite having, video evidence and he has presented photographic evidence, this has not yet gone through the court system. And so we can't say that it's entirely true. And I'd say the biggest point that we took away from these Diddy docs was that this ring, if you believe it exists, can and will murder people to protect themselves. And
wow. Like I said, this is a deep rabbit hole, people. I see why she says she's not going to cover it anymore. Wow.
And he intimated this event that happened allegedly at a recording studio where Diddy and his son allegedly shot someone, and it was covered up by the LAPD.
What? Wow. So they're saying that his son and Diddy and his son shot a guy oh my goodness, at a recording studio and got covered up, man. Hey, these people got money. Like what Biggie said, more money, more problems, right?
And then the media. All right, so within those docs, and this is where it gets relevant, there is one man that is named as being the person that can do the cleanups, right? This is the guy that you are supposed to call if you get into any sort of a scenario. So in these docs, it says, Mr. Combs instructs his staff to always contact Mr. Muhammad, that is Fahim Muhammad, if they are ever pulled over by the police in Miami or California. And upon information and belief, this is regarding the shooting that took place at Chalice Recording Studios. Again, he is alleging that Diddy and his son shot someone. And after that shooting, the documents say explicitly that Mr. Muhammad spoke with the LAPD after G was shot at the recording studio. The LAPD was in the recording studio and witnessed the blood in the restroom, and they went with the bogus claim that the shooting of G occurred outside of the studio. This was all thanks to Mr. Muhammad's connections within law enforcement. So again, what we are seeing there is that you call this guy and this guy will make it disappear, and the media will report whatever the incident is in a capacity that covers up the crime, allegedly. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The cleanup guy, Mr. Fahim Muhammad, was also on the scene when Michael Jackson died. So I want to introduce you to and allow you to listen.
What? These people always have some kind of connection, man. It's always some kind of connection. That's crazy. Here we go.
To Ian Carroll. He's an independent journalist that is investigating everything that is going on, and he explains that connection that Fahim has with Michael Jackson. Take a listen.
So this new lawsuit just came out that shows tons of evidence that P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, has been running a sexual blackmail operation very much like Jeffrey Epstein, but in the rap and music industry for basically 30 years. And in that lawsuit, we learned that his head of security while he's running the sexual blackmail ring is this guy named Fahim Muhammad, who before working for Diddy was the head of security for Michael Jackson when he was only 21. And he was one of the first people on the scene when Michael Jackson died. And before we go to Michael Jackson, the most important part of the Diddy case to bring across is the fact that the record executives at the very top knew what P. Diddy was doing. They were attending the parties with underage girls where they were spiking drinks. They were deeply involved in Diddy's personal life, and all evidence points to them supporting his operation, or at the very least, turning a blind eye to it.
So yes, this is obviously huge. It's also potentially terrifying. And now if you want to be rational and use the rational side of your brain, you just go, okay, well, this could just be a coincidence, right? Like Fahim Muhammad, he is in security. And yes, he obviously is high up in security. He was providing security to Michael Jackson. He happened to die on his watch. Big deal, right? Big deal. Well, I think that would lead us to the question of who exactly is Fahim Muhammad, because that's kind of a...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Who is this guy? Because to be honest with you, that was a long time ago. When Michael Jackson died, compared to now with these allegations with P. Diddy, that was at least almost 20 years ago or so. Like, I mean, now this is, this guy had to be a whole lot younger back then as well, So I don't know.
A big first job to have. You're 21 years old and you're protecting the king of pop. What exactly are his qualifications? Let's go back to Ian Carroll and his reporting.
And now, here's the best part. Check this out. This is in all of his bios, by the way, but we're pointing it out now. In 2008, Fahim graduated from Sacramento State University with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Administration with a concentration in real estate and marketing. Okay. Do you realize what's wrong with that yet? Anything coming to mind? When did Mike?
My question is, what does this have to do with security? He graduated with a business degree. He didn't have anything to do with security. And then he's graduating from college and he became Michael Jackson's head of security. Hey, as Dre said, we talk about it, people.
Michael Jackson died. June 25th, 2009. Wow. Jackson died from cardiac arrest caused by a propofol and benzodiazepine overdose caused by his doctor, apparently. Hold up. Hold the phone. Pause. Why is a dude who just graduated college last year with a business and real estate degree the head of security for the king of pop?
Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said.
Michael Jackson, the most famous musician of all time.
Yeah, that is remarkably suspicious. And if we had a media that was interested in actually presenting the truth and not just propagandizing on behalf of the state, they would probably explore and look deeper into who this character is. But of course, that's not what the media.
Hey, people. Hey, man, like I said, Dre say we talk about it, people. We're going to continue this conversation. I have this other clip was Miss Candace Owens that I wanted to just show you. This is a little more in depth about this lawsuit from Lil Rob here, man. Let's get into this clip really quick. Let's get into it right now. Here we go.
A man named Rodney Jones has come forward to sue Diddy, and this is not your average lawsuit. I will say right now, many lawsuits are in fact frivolous. I have fought and won frivolous lawsuits. This person, however, his name is Rodney Jones. He lived, traveled, and he worked with Diddy as a producer, and he is alleging that he has hours upon hours of recorded footage and pictorial evidence, which has been included in this document, to support his claims. And I have to say, these claims seem very credible. Now, to be clear, Rodney, also goes by Lil Rod, is suing Diddy and others, we're going to get to who those others are, for $30 million, claiming that he was subjected to sexual misconduct for the duration of the production process of an album. It is a 70-page lawsuit that has been filed in the Southern District of New York. And he is claiming that while working on the album and living with Combs in New York, California, Florida, other locations, that Diddy repeatedly groped him, touching his, I'm sorry to say this, guys, his anus and his crotch without consent, and attempting to groom him into accepting a homosexual relationship by showing him explicit videos of others in Hollywood. Yes, they have named other artists, claiming that homosexuality was a normal practice in the music industry. He's also claiming that Diddy would walk around the house naked and force him to watch him shower, and is alleging that he went forward and told Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Karam, about this. And Christina came back to him and said, well, you know.
Man, they painting a picture of Diddy to be a real freak, man. Goodness griefs. You know, I never thought the industry was like that. You know, I mean, I kind of thought it'd be a little weird, because you got a lot of people with a lot of money, and then they don't know what to do with the money, power and all that stuff, power junkies. Man, but goodness gracious, I sure don't want nothing to do with the music industry, man. Not if it's like that, man. That's crazy. That's ridiculous, people, man. Hey, this stuff looks like it's a real deal, man. I don't know. Let's continue to talk about it. Let's get back into this clip.
Sean will just be Sean. So we're going to go through some of these explosive claims. Again, right at the top, I'm going to make it clear so that I don't get sued that these are all allegations. Everything that I'm going to say after this is an allegation that is being claimed by Rodney in this lawsuit document, which we will include as a link for you guys if you're watching this on YouTube. Let's go through the big claims. Ready? Number one, this is perhaps the biggest claim, is that Diddy and his son murdered someone in plain daylight and got away with it. There's apparently a man that they know, that everyone who works with Diddy knows, that they can call and they essentially will get everything cleaned up. And they're implicating the LAPD in this madness because they produced fake reports. And he's got some real good evidence to back up these claims. He says that one evening during a camp that they were running with several musicians, Mr. Combs and Jay Combs were in a heated conversation with somebody named G. And while this conversation was moved out of the studio and into a restroom that was adjacent to where Jones was sitting.
Wow, man, that's deep, man. So, and he has proof right here. The proof is in the pudding, people. Man, that take me back to think about the situation way back with him and with P. Diddy and J-Lo and the guy, the rapper that was up and coming at the time. Sound like Biggie. I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, I remember and everybody was trying to say P. Diddy had something to do with that, and he got off of that. Man, this is crazy, man. This is crazy.
He heard approximately 2 feet away from him, again, Mr. Jones is the producer that's suing him, gunshots suddenly ringing out. He recalls hearing multiple gunshots. Mr. Jones immediately went into a state of shock and fear that he would be shot next. He genuinely believed that he would be shot through the door due to how close he was. After the shooting ended, a crowd gathered around the restroom. When the door finally opened, Mr. Combs and his son exited. G was lying on the restroom floor in a fetal position, holding his stomach and bleeding out of his leg and his hip area. Everyone stood around and looked up at him. Frustrated by the lack of aid that was being provided, Mr. Jones, the producer that's suing again, dropped everything, ran to the guy, and immediately began placing pressure. As he was applying pressure on his stomach, he realized that G was gushing blood from another area. He decided to lift G up and place him to sit on the toilet, and he asked the crowd to call the ambulance. Now, here is what is interesting. The ambulance.
And then that's weird. Why literally you have to tell them to call the ambulance? That's like as if this is something that happens. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this guy's gushing blood. He's dying over here. Nobody think to call the police, the ambulance, to come get him some help? Man.
Ambulance does arrive, and Mr. Combs, according to Mr. Jones, Diddy gives strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced the producer to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot while standing outside of the studio. And the police just believed this, despite the overwhelming evidence that the shooting did not take place outside of the studio and that it instead took place inside near the bathroom. He includes in his lawsuit this photo of the bathroom and we are blurring it here, of the blood in that bathroom. And then it is stunning because he also shows how the media then reported it, right? A fake police report was produced, and then fake headlines were the result. This is CBS News. Man shot outside party at Hollywood recording studio. The key word there is outside. How on earth could the LAPD be implicated in lying? Well, he alleges that there is an individual, again, that they know that they can call to clean up any types of murders. And that individual will make sure the right officers write down the fake police reports and that those are then fed to the media to cover up murder. The second big explosive thing that comes from this document.
Wow. Hey, at Dre Say We Talk About It, people. Man, I just wanted to get that snippet of this clip here from Candace Owens here. Man, that's like I said, it's a deep rabbit hole, people. I have one more little clip I wanted to. I remember I said earlier, the one with Justin Bieber. I wanted to just a little something I found on Instagram with like I said, Diddy literally like kind of approaching Bieber here, man. Hold on, let's get to this clip real quick. Hold on 1 second.
Everything's good. Selling out arenas and everything. Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Like I said, people, that one there, to me, I mean, hey, I mean, I can tell it's an older video, like when Justin Bieber was, a little kid, a lot younger, but man, you can tell he was a little nervous, and it looked like he'd been trying to, duck and dodge Diddy, because, he probably been uncomfortable with the man, and you can tell he feels a little uncomfortable with that conversation. Man, that's, hey, you let me know what you think about it, man. This is Dre Say. At Dre Say We Talk About It, people. But that was the last one of this series right here, man. But we're going to continue to get into, some more of this Diddy rabbit hole, man, and whatever else out there, whatever else we got going on, whatever is what's popping, man. What's going on in the neighborhoods. Man, we talking about everything here on Dre Say, man. I told you we talk about it all. This was really informative to me. I got to, I learned a lot. I got a chance to, get educated on a lot of things that I didn't know, man. I didn't know Puff Daddy was the way he is, man. And I didn't know, I always thought that he was, just a businessman, trying to make money, but hey, man, this is crazy. Hey, let me know what you feel about it, man. This is Dre Say. At Dre Say We Talk About It. If you guys have any other, content, anything that maybe can back up Puff Daddy, maybe give him a better image, man. Because me personally, I like the guy. I thought he was a very, good businessman. You know what I mean? But hey, you never know. You can't never judge a book by its cover, man. Let's talk about it. Let's keep talking about this here at Dre Say, people. Hey, we're out.